Hey everyone, welcome back to the Modest Money channel. Today I'm reviewing something that I think a lot of you will find super interesting, Alpha Picks by Seeking Alpha. You might have heard of Seeking Alpha, but not everyone has heard of their stock picking service, Alpha Picks. So I'm here to shed some light on that. If you're looking for a service that takes the guesswork out of stock picking and gives you reliable recommendations to build a strong portfolio, then this might be just what you need. But is it really worth it? That's what I'm going to dive into today. All right, before we get into too many details, let's start with a little background. If you're not familiar with Seeking Alpha, it's basically one of the biggest platforms out there for market research and financial analysis. I'm talking about thousands of contributors breaking down every corner of the stock market. It's a go-to site for investors looking for in-depth research, but they've got more than just free articles. Seeking Alpha offers a range of premium subscription services, and Alpha Picks is one of their flagship offerings. Now, what exactly is Alpha Picks? It's a stock picking service that's aimed at long-term investors who want to buy and hold high-quality stocks. It's not about chasing trends or betting on some penny stock that's about to pop. It's focused on finding solid, fundamentally strong companies that are primed for growth. The service provides 2 new stock recommendations every month, delivered right to your inbox, along with detailed research on why each pick was chosen. The process behind these picks is pretty impressive too. The Seeking Alpha quantitative team, led by Stephen Kress, who's got decades of experience in equity research, uses a proprietary data-driven model to find stocks that are likely to outperform the market. They look at factors like growth, valuation, momentum, and profitability, so you're getting picks that have been vetted by some serious research. And here's the cool part. Since its inception in 2022, Alpha Picks has outperformed the S&P 500 by over 90%. Yep, 90%. That's a huge edge, especially for buy and hold investors. If you're aiming to build a strong, diversified portfolio, this track record alone makes it worth a closer look. Now, let's get into some user feedback, because real-world experience tells us what we need to know, right? I dug into some recent reviews, and it's clear that Alpha Picks has a solid fan base. They have a great rating of 4.1 out of 5 on Trustpilot. This shows on a macro level that users like the product, but let's dig into some specific reviews to see why. This user mentioned that Alpha Picks is super easy to use and helps build stock portfolios without much hassle. Plus, they gave a shout out to the customer service team for being responsive and quick with their support. It's always nice to see a service that not only delivers good results, but also takes care of its customers. Another reviewer shared some impressive results. They said they've been using Alpha Picks for a while now and have seen returns over 100% on some of the stock picks. That's pretty incredible, and it just goes to show the potential this service has when it's used as part of a disciplined, long-term strategy. This user also mentioned how they became a fan of Stephen Kress and his expertise after joining. It's always a good sign when subscribers not only stick around, but actively follow the analyst's insights. So, from what I'm seeing, users are happy with the service overall. The ease of use, solid returns, and strong customer support seem to be common themes. The fact that people are specifically calling out these aspects means that Seeking Alpha is doing something right with Alpha Picks. All right, let's dive into what Alpha Picks actually brings to the table and why it's generating so much buzz. If you're like me and you want a stock picking service that simplifies the process without compromising on quality, you're going to want to hear this. One of the things that really stands out about Alpha Picks is how straightforward they keep it. You get 2 hand-picked stock recommendations delivered straight to your inbox every month. That's it. It's not like some of those services that bombard you with a dozen hot picks every week. Instead, they're all about quality over quantity, which, in my opinion, makes it a lot easier to actually implement the advice. I've tried other services that left me with analysis paralysis, so many choices, no idea which one to actually act on. With Alpha Picks, that's never been an issue. And what's cool is how they choose these stocks. The Seeking Alpha Quant team uses a proprietary system that analyzes an insane amount of data, everything from valuation and growth to momentum and profitability. It's not just someone's gut feeling. It's a solid, numbers-driven approach that has a proven track record. They're basically taking the guesswork out of the equation, which I think many of you can appreciate. They also have a strict process for when to hold, when to sell, and when to take partial profits. If a stock performs well and doubles in value, they put it in what they call the good to great category and sell half of it. That way, you're letting your winners run, but still locking in some gains. Not a bad strategy if you ask me. Now, Don't expect to be making trades every day or even every week with alpha picks. This is really a buy and hold strategy. So, if you're more into quick flips or day trading, it's not going to be your style. But for long-term investors who want a simpler way to build a solid portfolio, I think it's a perfect fit. Let's talk pricing because I know that's a big factor for most people. Right now, Alpha Pix is priced at $499 per year. Yep, it's a one-time annual fee, no monthly plans, no free trial, and no refunds. If you are wondering why they don't offer a free trial or monthly memberships, it is because you will get access to all of their previous picks on day one after signing up. If they gave free trials or cheaper monthly memberships, people could sign up, get all of their previous picks, and cancel. I get that might sound like a steep upfront commitment, but here's how I see it. You're not just paying for a couple of stock picks each month. You're paying for a carefully crafted strategy that's been outperforming the market for over a decade. If you're really serious about growing your portfolio and you're willing to stick with it, I think that $499 could pay for itself many times over. But that really comes down to your portfolio size. And let's be real, there are other services out there that charge way more for a lot less value. I think with Alpha Picks, you're getting solid recommendations backed by a proven data-driven model. If you're someone who's committed to making the most out of your investments, it's definitely worth considering. So, is Alpha Pix worth it? For me, it's a resounding yes, but only if you're looking for a simple, no-fuss, long-term approach to investing. I love that they don't overwhelm you with too many options, and I really appreciate how transparent they are about their process. If you're after a reliable buy-and-hold service that doesn't require you to spend hours researching every week, I'd say give it a shot. But hey, if you're someone who loves jumping in and out of stocks or thrives on making a ton of trades every month, you might want to look elsewhere. It definitely isn't the best option if you are an active day trader. This is more about building a portfolio that grows steadily over time rather than chasing quick gains. Personally, I'm a big fan of Alpha Picks. I love how easy they make it to stay on track with a long-term strategy, and the fact that it's been beating the S&P 500 since its inception just seals the deal for me. The pricing might be a bit of a commitment, but if you're serious about your investments, it's totally worth it. If you do decide to give it a go, make sure to use my link in the description to navigate directly to the Alpha Picks page, as Seeking Alpha has lots of other offerings. Alright, that's a wrap for now. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy investing.